2 weeks ago, a text file, just 200 lines of markdown, helped wipe $285 billion off the stock market in a single trading session. Thomson Reuters down 18%, LexisNexis down 14%, LegalZoom down 20%. Wall Street called it the SaaSpocalypse. And if you're running a CAS practice and you think this doesn't apply to you, I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. So here's what actually happened. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, released an open source plugin that could review legal contracts, triage NDAs, flag non-standard clauses, generate compliance summaries, the kind of work that until that moment required a paralegal, a Westlaw subscription, and billable hours. And this plugin? It was just a text file. It wasn't even a product, not a platform, a text file. Now here's the part that matters. The text file didn't kill the software. Thomson Reuters legal databases are still valuable. Salesforce's customer data is still valuable. The data underneath these platforms is real and it's not going anywhere. What died was the pricing model sitting on top of it. The per-seat licensing model. The idea that you can charge every human who touches the tool and your revenue goes up when headcount goes up. That model works when humans are the bottleneck, and it breaks the moment an AI agent can do the work without logging in. If one AI agent does the research that used to require 10 paralegals with 10 Westlaw logins, Thomson Reuters doesn't lose the value of their data. They lose 9 seats of revenue. The data gets more important. The pricing model collapses. Now replace per-seat software licenses with per-hour compliance billing. Same structural problem, same math. Maybe your math. Your bookkeeping work, your tax prep work, your transaction categorizing, your reconciliation, your file prep, your routine reporting. That is repeatable, pattern-based work. And it is exactly the kind of work AI is coming for fastest in professional services. We are not talking years, we are talking months. And the question is not whether AI can do this work, it already can. The question is how fast your clients start expecting it to cost less, because they will. That call is coming. And if your revenue model depends heavily on volume-based compliance work, you are staring at the same compression that just erased hundreds of billions from the software sector. Your staff doing that commodity layer work are the most exposed people in your firm. Now, before you panic, here's what didn't break. 2 things. And they happen to be the 2 things that CAS firms already have. First, your data edge. Your years of client relationship context. Your pattern recognition, built over thousands of engagements. You know when a client is lying to themselves about their numbers. You know what they actually mean when they say, "We want to grow." That knowledge compounds over years, and it is genuinely irreplaceable. No AI has that data set. And second, the wringable neck. Someone has to be professionally and legally responsible for the tax return, for the advice given in a planning session, for the phone call at 10 p.m. when something goes sideways. Your clients are not paying for the compliance output. They are paying for your name, your license, and your willingness to stand behind your work. AI does not replace that. And here's the thing. As AI-driven workflows get more complex, human accountability becomes more important, not less. So your data, your knowledge, is your real edge. Your accountability edge is real. What's at risk is the commodity pricing model sitting on top of both of them. And this is where I need to be blunt with you about something. If you're using ChatGPT to proofread emails you would have written anyway, you are not transforming your practice. If you're using AI to summarize documents that you would have read anyway, You are not transforming your practice. You are bolting AI onto your existing process and calling it innovation. It isn't. That is the equivalent of a SaaS company adding a chatbot to their product and putting AI powered in the press release. The market just repriced those companies to the tune of $285 billion. Bolt on doesn't work. Rebuild looks completely different. Rebuild is AI doing the first pass file review so your supervisors only see what's genuinely ambiguous. Rebuild is walking into an advisory session with an AI-generated briefing on that client's last 90 days, flagging trends, cash flow patterns, suggested talking points, so you show up as a better advisor with less prep time. Rebuild is freeing up every hour you currently spend catching routine errors and redirecting it into the advisory work where your real pricing power lives. And that brings me to the pricing shift. The firms that thrive through this are going to be the ones who make the same move the SaaS companies are being forced into. Stop pricing the commodity layer. Start pricing the data edge and the accountability. Bookkeeping becomes the data layer. Advisory becomes the product. Value-based pricing tied to outcomes replaces volume-based pricing tied to transactions. That's the pivot. And the firms that make it will capture more value than they've ever had. The ones that don't are going to learn the same lesson that print media learned. You can have the best content in the world and still lose everything if you can't let go of the business model. So here's what I need you to do this week, not next month, this week. I know it's busy season. This week, look at your 3 most error-prone file types, the ones where you're constantly catching the same mistakes. Document the specific patterns you're looking for, not as a training manual, as the spec for an AI review checklist you can build in the next 30 days. Turn your frustration into a system. That system is what frees you to do the work only you can do. Then, pick up the phone and call your software vendors, your Salesforce rep, your practice management vendor, your document management provider. Ask them what their AI roadmap looks like. Ask them how their pricing model is changing, because $285 billion just told the market that per seat pricing is broken, and every vendor you work with knows it. The conversation is coming whether you start it or not. Start it on your terms. The SaaSpocalypse didn't decide who wins and who loses, but it compressed a transition that everyone expected to take 5 years into a single week. And the repricing hasn't stopped. It's barely started. The clock is running. What are you doing about it? If you'd like help learning how to transform your practice into an AI-driven practice, not as a bolt-on, but as a rebuild, I run a 15-day practice transformation bootcamp. 3 hours once a week for 3 weeks. And it'll teach you or someone in your firm how to begin the transformation and provide the support they need to beat the SaaSpocalypse pricing problem. Go to theaiaccountant.ai for more information. Thanks for listening.